At least until I think March or April, there's not going to be any mowing contracts to do, actually. That reminds me, we're probably going to want to check the nitrogen levels on our grass field, because that needs to be dealt with. And then after we've done that, we do need to lime. I can get lime delivered to the arable yard now, so that's good. Well, actually, our Anderson is in very good condition. It probably needs painting though, and you do get a good return. Or you don't get a good return. You get a reasonable return if you paint the vehicle before you sell it. So we'll try and do math, which, who knows. So we will select this. This is worth 13,989 and repaint is 6,000, which is 19,989. 19,989. So we made about $600 more from the sale of that net. So it was something like 13,000. We made almost 14. And now we need to back up and go and pick up the square one, or the one that is also capable of square bales. So, increased capability of the farm, and that's really what we're looking at going forwards. Backwards. Turn the engine off, we'll turn that back on again. Follow. And off we go back to the farm. So, still February. I think what we'll do is I will fill the tipper up with more manure, and then we'll take that to the BGA and empty as much of it as we're capable of. After that, we'll leave the trailer there if it's still got stuff in it, and then probably skip through February 3. We'll obviously check the store sales. I should check the contracts as well. I wonder how big that cultivator. I don't want to buy the cultivator. What I want is a seeder that's that big, that is capable of direct drill. Before I want a cultivator, because a bigger seeder will allow us to do our work quicker, and I just want to do our work quicker, although it's a fine. The problem is I've only got one big tractor, so the more stuff I get that only the big tractor can work, the more limited I am in. It slows down the farm production because everything all the jobs queue up behind one tractor. At least at the moment, since every tractor is capable of doing most of the jobs, there's no weight on tractors. I can have one tractor seeding, one tractor spraying, one tractor ploughing, mowing, whatever. So at the moment, what I tend to do is I'll send the Massey Ferguson off to mow Ted, Row, whatever, and it will go out and do that job on a worker while I do something else with one of the other tractors. The seeder's only 90 horsepower. So again, every single tractor can be used on it. Now that we've got the big mower set, the mowing is going to happen with the John Deere, and then that just leaves the Deutz and the Massey for other jobs. So if I have to cart stuff, I'll be using the Deutz to cart, but it's not as big as the John Deere, so it's using the smaller 20,000 litre trailer rather than the 30,000 litre trailer. So that's kind of where we're sitting. So in order to keep up the rate at which I can do work on the farm, eventually I'm going to have a second big tractor, so that one can be seeding while another one is ploughing, while, you know, etc., etc., like we had on Oakfield. Just more, a couple of very, very, very capable tractors that can do all the heavy lifting, and then anything else can be done with the Deutz or the Massey, depending on the horsepower needs. That's done. Back to there. So we're going to fill this up. It does mean that now that the mowing is predominantly going to be done with the John Deere, I can put the loader arms back on the Massey and not have to remove them for when it's doing the mowing. Okay. And the thing is, how much is in there? There's... I think I've left it too long. We're keeping just under 400,000 litres in there. And I'd kind of like to have less. I think I probably could have less if we had a manure spreader. Again, we don't have one. If one comes up in the sales, we'll pick it up, because it will then give me options of dumping manure, because we are stacking that up quite significantly. I really don't know what our storage capacity is. I suppose I could look. I wonder if it says in the construction menu. Construction, silos. Is that the manure heap? I see. Oh, we do have the concrete bunker set. So apparently the yes, it thinks it can hold 4 million litres. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, considering what it looks like with just 400,000 in it. But I guess we're not as badly strapped for content as I thought we were. Could buy another B thing. Maybe we'll do that on the way back. I think the field to our right also has canola in. I could put a beehive up in the top corner here. Looks like I missed... Oh, we might not be coming back, of course, so we'll see about that, I guess. I can always skip to the... what's that one? That's the carpentry. Haven't done any lumber this year, but I kind of want to get the arable operation more. Whoa! Sorry about that. That wasn't me. That was the ground being a little bit off. So yeah, I'm going to want a Class 9 tractor again. So I'm trying to avoid having a Class Arian, Axion 900, 930. If I get the Agco 1000 again, I will probably get it in Fendt colours rather than Challenger, although I do like the Challenger colours. And it's different. It's something different. At least it's something different from what everybody else uses. Unfortunately, we've used it an awful lot in our series. We have not really featured much in the way of Fendts. I guess not in the big range. We've never featured a John Deere, which is why I got the 8RT or the 8R. And surprisingly, it's a very high horsepower for an 8. We don't have the Valtra S anymore, which is the high-powered Valtra. There is the Q, but that barely clears 300 horsepower. Now, I do want a couple of tractors in the 8 series range. So, a consideration is to upgrade this tractor for the Series 8. Maybe. Means we can't put a front loader on it. Oh, the other thing I was thinking was maybe a case. We do not feature case tractors very frequently. And I want something, I do want something in sort of 160, 180 horsepower to do the spray, to take over the spraying work from this. And that is completely all of it. Okay, we can turn off the engine there, jump out, and beam over to here. We'll visit the supermarket. We'll buy some food on the way home. Now, this is our field. Whoa! Okay, this is our field. So I'm going to put a beehive up the top here. Construction, animals, bees, big beehive. Huh. Oh, actually, let's rotate it the other way. Other way. No, that was the right way. So that would work. I think it's suitably far enough from the field to work there. And I do want to run up there and get the chainsaw out. Because I did notice I missed one of the things. There we go. Okay. So this is all perfect. We now need another one on this bottom corner. I'll probably put it in the trees by the pig thing. That'll drop us below 100,000. And I think we did spray that field, that grass field. We'll take a look. So nitrogen, 200,000 on canola. That's a lot. Canola's a good thing to plant though. Okay, so this is closer to that hedge than I thought it was. So maybe I put the beehive here. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. Fun and games. The ABS on our Equinox has failed. So, yay. Animals, bees. Not that I can do anything about it today because, well, they're closed. So we'll put that just about there, I think. I could put it further over here. Sort of in the trees so that there's not as many trees here as I thought there were. We get stuck in trees at this corner. Maybe this corner would have been better. Well, I don't know. We could put it up here. That works. Some of the coverage is going to cover this field here, which we don't own, but we might do eventually. Yeah, we'll put that here. Okay, so that's 4 beehives. So we're back at the yard. This is, pH is okay. So this is going to need lime next year. You know what? I might lime it this year before it starts growing. What's the state? Growing. Stage 2 of 3. We'll see. We might have to mow it in March. Let's check the weather. Harvesting grass, April. But we can start planting things in March also. Soybeans, fluctuations, June. Okay, so not worried about selling soybeans yet. This field needs lime. This field needs lime. And we'll do another quick check. That field's cheap, that's, yeah. Okay, so let's go back home because we have absolutely nothing else to do today. Like I said, this month, you know, February, March, they're just going to be quick jump through months. Check what's at the store. I mean, one of the things I could do is do my perishable sales the beginning of February, the end of March. Because the trips will be more worthwhile, but didn't do that. So anyway, back here again. What's on contracts? We have 0 contracts. Cows are still full of food. That's good. Milk isn't moving. Well, it is what it is. Let's check the store. That's a manure spreader. Oh, that's a big giant cedar. Ooh. Oh, that came up in the sales just after I bought the mower. But I don't need a big rake because our mower rakes. Oh, that is a decision. I think. How much capacity does this have? 35,000. That's going to be John Deere hauled. This is an overpriced piece of kit normally, but it's for sale. So it's actually road gauge. Okay, let's no. Oh, it has warning signs. Does it have 2 or just? Oh, it has 2. Spreader system C10 EDT or TCE. Main colour. We can go blue or black. No, I'm going to go with the blue, surprisingly. And it does not come with a debris thing. We're going to take the plate off. 35,000. We put 6,700 with the spreader on it. I'm still happy with that. That's probably a good deal. And it gives me a few more options. Now, the seeder is not a direct drill, which means we'll be penalised on our environmental score. It's a good sized meter. It is 12 metres, 180 horsepower. This is a good seeder. We used it back on law folds. But, and it's 62% off. Ooh. Well, actually, we don't have the money for it, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I do believe, well, you know what? I'm going to turn this on and see how much of this we can empty. And this is just so I can empty it a bit. Well, it might be we can get all of it out. That's a good thing. I'm not going to try and get another load because, quite frankly, it's probably not going to take it all, and it didn't. But the thing I can do here is go and get that manure spreader and take it back to the farm. Now, that manure spreader, it's big, so we're probably going to be limited to John Deere doing the work with that. And John Deere is going to be doing a lot of the heavy work from now on. I don't think this tractor's going to have the horsepower to do it. One thing I did want to check, however, I'm going to check the slurry tanker. So we're going to be using what Disturbed Simulations calls imprecise farming for any manure or slurry spreading. So our slurry tank is this one. And that you can put the manuring... Okay, so you put the manure sensor on the tank. What that does is it evens out the application of nitrogen to the field. We're getting very sort of blotchy levels of nitrogen. Sort of high levels in, you know, it's not a consistent application. I don't care on the slurry spreader, because all we're doing is we're putting a lot of nitrogen on the field to reduce the amount of liquid fertilizer that we end up using. We're not looking for a mass of or a serious accuracy in how much nitrogen we end up with. However, for something like the grass field, I would be looking for something a little bit more precise. But we've seen it in past episodes where, you know, I'm going out with the slurry spreader and it's sort of varying shades of yellow nitrogen levels. And then when we go out there with the liquid fertilizer, it just becomes a uniform application. And all we're using the slurry for is to reduce the cost of expensive fertilizer that we buy from the store. Kind of like Jeremy Clarkson's deal yesterday, or episode 1 and 2. We buy cows, the cows do their thing on the field. We buy chickens, and the chickens eat the worms and spread the manure out, and then the ground gets free nitrogen, which is awesome. So anyway, this thing is huge. Probably going to have to stick this in the shed with the bale trailers, to be fair. I really don't think it's going to fit in these shorter sheds. We can drive in and see. Yeah, that's going to stick out the back. So like I said, we're going to put this in the longer shed over here, which has all the other stuff in it. How's the buttered honey doing? I think we are close to 7,000 litres of honey on the farm. So we've actually got 2 Roland trailers now. That's nice. And I might end up getting a bigger, a bigger slurry spreader at some point. Actually, the manure spread. Let's put it in the workshop. It's used. We should probably give it the once over, make sure everything looks good. And then we can skip out. Actually, we probably should take this tractor back to the BGA.